All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in if you're listening to the recording. I am very, very passionate about this group program that I coach for MAPS called Dominate Your Market. I want to tell you a little bit about what the program is, and we'll get started right away. This is a program focused on the skills, the dialogue, the scripts required, the mindset, the tools and the strategies to master for sale by owners and expired listings. Now, I know because I've been coaching agents for the last 30 years that a lot of agents, when they hear for sale by owners and expired, they're just not very excited about this group of prospects, especially for sale by owners for some reason. Agents tend to be more willing to make calls to expireds than they are FSBOs. My goal during the call today, during our time together today, is to inspire you to recognize what an incredible opportunity you have. It doesn't matter what market you're in. It doesn't matter how much experience you've had in real estate. My goal is to inspire you to realize that you have a tremendous opportunity to make a lot of money listing and selling for sale by owners and expired listings. And not only that, providing excellent results and customer service so that these FSBOs and expireds, once you close their transaction, they become your past clients and go into your MAPS database, and they will continue to do business with you as long as you're in real estate, and maybe even after you're out of real estate if you get to a 7th level team or decide to sell your database. FSBOs and expireds are available in every market, meaning if you're currently experiencing locally a buyer's market or a seller's market, it doesn't matter. You are still going to have FSBOs and expireds in every kind of market. In a buyer's market, when you have a lot of active listings, a lot of inventory, you are going to have more expireds because properties are not selling, so more of them will expire. And of course, even in that market, you're still going to have a lot of for sale by owners. When I started selling real estate 21 years ago, I was working in a buyer's market in South Florida, and there were a lot of expireds. And there were also a lot of FSBOs. In fact, for sale by owners in that buyer's market was the first group of these two that I became really good at, and then expireds came second. So in a buyer's market, even though you have a ton of expireds, you'll still have a lot of opportunities with FSBOs. And in a seller's market, it'll be the opposite. You are going to have more for sale by owners than you do expired, and you will still have a lot of expired listings because even if it is a hot market, agents still overprice properties. They take shorter listings, so you will have expired. The bottom line is, for sale by owners and expired listings give you a tremendous opportunity in any area of the country or North America, and really in any real estate, in any market condition. Another reason why I absolutely love FSBOs and expireds. Let's talk about FSBOs first. Why are for sale by owners, in my opinion, the single best call or contact? You can go door knocking and knock on their door. Why is a for sale by owner the best contact you can make? Well, let's think about this for a minute. We all know that as great agents, in order to grow our business, we should be lead generating every single day. And the purpose of lead generation is to find people who want to buy and sell. If you read MREA, and I trust that all of you have as Keller Williams agents, or you've attended Bold, you know how Gary and Diana are always emphasizing lead generation for listings, for seller listings. So you lead generate to find people who want to buy and sell, preferably to find homeowners that want to sell their property. So you can go out and take their listing for various reasons. Sellers give you more control, you're more efficient, you spend less time, it's a great source of buyers. So your purpose when you're lead generating every day is to find someone who wants to sell. And depending what group of people you call, you might have to talk to a couple of, say, 20, 30, 50, sometimes even 100 or 200 people, contacts, to find someone who wants to sell. If you're calling around a neighborhood, for example, if you're circle prospecting, you may have to talk to a couple of hundred people to find somebody who wants to sell. I did a ton of that in my first, second year in real estate, so I know, and I've worked with clients that have done it as well. If you're calling your past clients sphere of influence, every so often you're going to find somebody that's ready to list their property now or gives you a referral for somebody who's ready now. Chances are you're going to be generating some leads that are going to turn into business in the future. And if you do it every day, the accumulation effect keeps your business going. Now, so the purpose is to find somebody who wants to sell. When you call expired, 50% of new expired listings, the ones that just are coming off the MLS today, their last day with the previous agent was yesterday. These expired listings, 50% of them relist the property within 48 hours. So when you call a new expired, you have a 2-in-1 chance of actually, they're ready to sell now. Well, guess what? Every for sale by owner you call, they're ready to sell now. In fact, the house is for sale. Now, I know what you may be thinking. I'm saying, well, they're ready to sell now, and you're thinking, well, you know, I've called FSBOs before. I've talked to some of them, and they all tell me they're not in a hurry, and, you know, they could wait a while, and it's a smoke screen. For sale by owners, their house is for sale. They have a for sale sign in front of the house. They have it all over the internet. Buyers are calling every day wanting to look at the house. Can you imagine? Yeah, they tell you, well, I'm not in a hurry, I'm not listing. They don't want to, what they don't want is, they don't want to list with an agent because they don't see any reason why they should. They believe, FSBOs believe they could do it, they could do the job that an agent can do and save 6% in commission. So, you know, if in fact, I was going to say, if I felt that way, I'd be a FSBO too. Actually, I was a FSBO before I got a real estate license. Actually, that's why I got into real estate, because I was selling my house on my own and ended up getting a real estate license. So it wasn't even to make it a career. That's how amazing opportunities real estate offers to all of you. Anyhow, every FSBO wants to sell. It doesn't matter what they tell you. They may tell you they don't care if they sell it or not. Nobody in their right peace of mind, in the right mindset, okay, unless they're really out of it, which most FSBOs are not. Normal people don't put their house up for sale because they have nothing better to do. If they don't want to sell the house, it wouldn't be for sale. So it's a one-to-one. Every single one that you call wants to sell. Expired, new ones, old ones, not the same ratio. New expired, 50% will relist the property within 48 hours. How much more exciting can it be? FSBOs and expireds are immediate business. When you master these two sources of business, you can walk into your office in the morning without any leads, make some call, and get an appointment, go take a listing that day. I don't know about you. That sounds very, very exciting to me. And that's the main reason why my entire real estate career was built on FSBOs and expireds. I was listing about 150 of them a year for several years. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity. Now, what does it take to master FSBOs and expireds? Well, with any selling situation, to master it, you have to be a great presenter, because when you contact, and when I say contact, because it could either be over the phone or in person, when you contact a firstborn expired, and when you speak with them, you are making a presentation. Even if you're talking to them over the phone, that phone call is, that lead generation call is a presentation. And for sale by owners and expired, chances are you're going to have some competition. No matter what market you're in, there will be other agents that will be calling these FSBOs and expireds. You're not the only one. So how do you stand out? Because a great presenter, I actually have clients ask me that question. Every now and then someone will say, well, we're all calling the same people and we're using the same script, especially the agents that are in bold. I'm a bold coach, so I know they ask that all the time. Do you mean like all of us here are going to be calling the same FSBOs, the same expires, and we're going to use the same script? So how is that going to work? Well, here's how it's going to work. One of you will actually take that listing. One of you, maybe a couple of you or a few will set an appointment, and one agent will take that listing. So why not you? And in order to set the appointment, to stand out, it's not, you don't have to be using a different script. You could actually use the same exact words. What you have to master are the skills of a great presenter. And great presenters, they stand out not because they say something so amazingly different than everybody else. It's because of how they deliver the script. It's the energy, it's the confidence, it's the passion, the belief, and the ability to get that prospect or seller on the other side of the conversation excited about the value that you can bring to them and the fact that you can get the job done. That's what makes you stand out. In fact, in bold, if you've taken bold, if not, go sign up for the next bold in your area. In bold, we teach that 7% of your communication comes from the words that you say. 38% of your communication comes from your tonality and 55% from your body language. So as you can see, being so concerned about, oh, we're all using the same script, okay? Yeah, how are you delivering the script is more important than the script itself. And that's another reason why, in order to be a great presenter, you've got to, first you memorize the scripts and then you internalize them. When you have them internalized, it means you own them. You don't have to think about it anymore when you say the script. You don't have to read it. You could have it in front of you just to jot your memory. You're not going to be reading. Yes, initially you will. I did too when I first started selling real estate. The goal is to internalize these scripts as quickly as possible. Practice every single day for at least 30 minutes a day. So you can internalize the scripts and then you can focus on the delivery of the script. You can quit worrying about the words because they're going to come out of your mouth or automatically because you own them. That's what great presenters do. And also in this conversation of a great presenter, you see there's a bold law on the screen. It says logic makes them think and emotion makes them act. A great presentation has both the logic and the emotion. So this is very simple. Logic comes from the scripts that you're using, because the scripts that we give you in bold, the scripts that you will get when you sign up for Dominate Your Market, and all of the role plays that you're going to hear in the program, they're all logical. So as long as you use those scripts, the logic is there. The emotion is what you have to bring out. It is the energy, the passion, the confidence, the excitement. Because why is the emotion so critical? Please write this down. People make decisions when they're excited about the future. And that excitement comes from the fact that you're excited, your level of energy. It's the emotion with which you're delivering the script. When you get sellers and homeowners excited about what you can do for them, that's it. That's it. That's how you get appointments. That's how you will take the listing as well. So now I'd like to give you the 5 steps to handling objections, because realistically, when you're calling FSBOs and expires, you are going to hear objections. In fact, for sale by owners and expires are probably the group of people that give you the most objections. And why is that? Well, they don't know you. If it happens to, if you're talking to a past client, a sphere of influence, if it's a referral that you've received from someone, so they know, either they know you personally, they know of you, they've been referred to you, you may still get some objections. And you certainly are going to get a lot more objections from people that don't know you at all. And that's who FSBOs and expires are. So these 5 steps to handling objections, they will work for you whether you are handling an objection over the phone or you're handling an objection in person. When you're on a listing presentation, how do you handle an objection? The same way. You're calling a seller for a price reduction and they give you an objection. How do you handle? The steps are the same. You're talking to another agent negotiating an offer and they give you some sort of objection. What are the steps to handle? Exactly the same. So please write it down. Step number 1. Step number 1 is so simple, you're going to go, oh, really? That's what it is? Yeah, and I'll explain to you why it's so simple and so critical. Step number 1 is listen intently to what they're saying. How can you possibly handle an objection powerfully if when they're speaking and they're giving you the objection, you're in your head thinking about how you're going to respond? And I want you to consider how many times you've heard an objection and you were hearing it, you weren't really listening. So yeah, you're hearing, you're in your head. There's no way to handle it powerfully unless you listen intensely first. And this goes hand in hand with step number 2 in handling objections, which is always repeat and approve what they say. So again, how will you be able to repeat and approve effectively? Because in my opinion, repeating and approving is the most important step in handling objections for various reasons. And I'm going to spend a little time here because I want you to understand the importance of step 2. Let me back up for a minute. You're not able to repeat and approve effectively if you did not listen intently. And why is it so important to repeat and approve? Because in bold, Diana teaches us this. Everyone wants to look good and be right. And repeating and approving is about making them right, making them feel like you understand the objection. You understand the objection, the question, the concern, because that's what an objection is. So when you repeat and approve, you say something like, Mr. Seller, I completely understand what you're saying from your perspective, and you repeat the objection. And I understand how you would think, blah, blah, blah. So you're repeating and approving, and they're sitting there thinking, oh, wow. You may not agree with what they're saying, and yet you make them feel like you've listened, you're paying attention, you're interested, and you understand why they're giving you that objection and why they're concerned about that. It works magically. Repeating and approving works magically. When people feel like you are interested, you're paying attention, you understand them, a lot of times that's all they care about. The objection may go away the more you master the step number 2. When the objection doesn't go away, and you're going to continue to handle it, which, by the way, I'm going to give you the 5 steps. Over the phone, your job is not to handle objections unless you hit a roadblock, okay? Unless you have no choice. The call's going to end, they're hanging up on you, so then you handle it. And sometimes you'll have to. So step number 3 is ask a question to get their attention. So they gave you the objection. As an example. Can you do it for 4%? Okay, can you cut your commission? Very common objection over the phone and in person, right? Can you cut your commission? So you're going to repeat and approve. And so, Mr. Seller, I understand your question. From your perspective, you're looking at it thinking, well, if I can find an agent that can list my property for 4% instead of 6%, you're looking at this thinking, wait a minute, I could actually save 2%. And of course, that is a lot of money. So I completely understand why you would want to hire someone who's offering you a lower commission. That was all repeat and approved, just an example. So a question to get their attention. And never use but. You learned this in bold, no but, okay? B-U-T, put an X across it. Never use that word again in your sales vocabulary. So, and may I tell you why, Mr. Seller, hiring a discount agent can actually end up costing you money? That's a question to get their attention. By the way, you don't handle objections over the phone, okay? I'm not going to spend time on this because we don't have time for it today. In Dominate Your Market, I talk more about this. Don't do that over the phone, okay? Over the phone, you diffuse the objection, and there are ways of diffusing it, so you handle it when you get there. Another question to get, and by the way, may I tell you why that can actually end up costing you money? That's a very versatile question to get their attention. If the objection is I'm going to relist to the same agent, or I'm gonna list with the neighborhood specialist, may I tell you why that can actually end up costing you money? You could use it for so many different objections. Another question to get their attention that I love is, Mr. Seller, may I tell you why that concerns me? So again, very versatile. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is go ahead and handle the objection. Now it's when you're going to use whatever objection handler you're going to use. And step number 5, and make sure you never skip that, is close. And I'll tell you, that's one of the biggest mistakes that I hear and I know agents make when handling objections. They may listen intently, repeat and approve, ask a question to get the attention, have a great objection handler, and they never ask for the appointment or the signature. And guess what? If you don't ask, chances are, if you just handle the objection and you kind of wobble around and you don't do anything, chances are you're going to get another objection. If you close, one of two things will, if no, when, because you got to start doing that. It is the 5th step, so don't skip it. So when you ask for, let's say, the appointment, one of two things will happen. Either they'll say yes, or they'll give you another objection. Oh, no, no, I don't want to meet right now. Call me in a month. Or no, I still think I have a friend in real estate. Whatever. They're going to give you another objection. They give you another objection, go through the 5 steps again. You listen intently, repeat and approve, ask the question to get their attention, handle the objection, ask for the appointment again. Now, and you keep going through this process, whether you're asking for the appointment or you're asking them to sign the contract. If you're in person that you're giving objections, that's what you do until either they give you the appointment or sign the contract, or they hang up on you or ask you to leave their house. That's it. There's nothing else to do. You've done your presentation. Now, here's one thought that is critical that I want you to remember, because I have a call on Dominate Your Market where we talk about closing. We spend an entire hour just on this conversation of being a great closer. Being a great closer, more than anything else, and Diana teaches us this in bold, it's about making a great presentation, because when you make a great presentation, you don't need to have some very fancy clothes. They will want to hire you. They will want you to come over and meet with them. So the actual getting them to say yes is going to be very easy when you are a great presenter. And also when you bring value to them. if you're not bringing value, if you're not coming from contribution, if they don't see any reason why they should meet with you or they should hire you, quite honestly, you don't deserve to get the appointment or get that listing. Because why are they going to meet with you or hire you? You've got to be able to show them that there's value in what you do, value in meeting with you, because when you do, the close is going to be very easy. And you got to believe that you are the best agent in the marketplace for them to hire, and hiring you is the best decision a for sale by owner can make, rather than selling on their own. And when you have that strong belief in yourself, you're unstoppable. And that belief comes from the value that you provide in these transactions, in results and service. Ultimately, sell the house for the most money possible in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle. That is your job as a real estate agent. And you got to get them excited about the fact that you are the best agent to do it for them. Imagine how easy it's going to be to get yeses when that is your mindset and that's when you're providing. So mirroring and matching, I want to touch on this very briefly. Mirroring and matching is one of the, and in the first step to bold, we teach this. Mirroring and matching is the most powerful skill you can develop in order to build rapport almost instantaneously with people you don't know. Physical expires are people you don't know. So mirroring and matching means that they answer the phone, hello, and you want to sound like they do as much as possible. Why? Because people like people who are like themselves. If somebody picks up the phone, let's say expired, for example, expired are generally not very happy people, especially the new ones. Right when they expire, they're not very happy. So when you call, chances are they're a little on the edge. So they answer. Let's say they answer the phone and they say hello. They're in a hurry. They sound a little bit frustrated, and you sound very nice and very happy. Hi, this is Jackie. I'm a real estate agent here in the area. They'll eat you alive. The best way, and the opposite is also true. If you call somebody and they're very relaxed and they say hello, and you're all, hi, this is Jackie. I'm a real estate agent. Very fast, speaking fast, and you're going to scare them away. Why? Because you're speaking very different. Their brain is not equating you with like this. It's not their comfort zone, because familiarity creates comfort for them. So the more you sound like they do by mirroring and matching, which works in person as well, the quicker you'll be able to get them to feel comfortable with you, because it creates familiarity. So they're like, oh, it's unconsciously their brain feels comfortable with you because you speak like them. So you mirror on the phone, you mimic and match their rate of speech, the volume of their voice, and their emotion. These are the three easiest ones for you to mirror and match, or mimic and match. And repeat and approve, we already talked about that. With expired listings, I want to give you this thought, which is absolutely critical. When you call an expired listing, obviously they're not happy people, and they shouldn't be happy. I mean, why would they be happy after 6 months of sitting on the market and the property not selling? These sellers need hope. And hope is what I was talking about before. It's you believing that you're the best agent in this marketplace to get their house sold quickly for the most money possible with the least amount of hassle. And you gotta give them hope that you can get the job done. Because if you talk to them and they don't get any hope that you will be able to sell the property, they don't feel confident that you can get the job done, you don't speak confidently, why are they going to give you the appointment? They don't want to do the same thing again, right? Same thing over and over, expecting different results. Definition of insanity. They're not going to hire you and give you an appointment unless you can say something and say it in a way that they feel like that's it. You'll be able, you can get the job done. When you give them hope that you can get the job done, you will get the appointment. And for sale by owners, it really is all about value. For sale by owners are selling on their own to save the commission. That's 99.9% of them. They're not selling on their own because they got nothing better to do. Okay? Like I said, nobody in their right state of mind puts a house for sale because they have nothing else to do. They're selling on their own because they believe they can save 6% in commission. And my mindset, and I think this mindset, I can tell you, was one of the most important ways of thinking that I know allowed me to make so much money listing and selling FSBOs. They will list to the first agent who can show them value in paying a commission. Why should they hire you if they don't see value in paying you? I don't think they should. And usually they don't. So if you're not able to show value, or there is no other agent that can show value, they're gonna list with an agent when they get tired of what they're doing, and they figure, well, after a month, 2, 3 months, who knows, they get tired of selling on their own, the house is not selling, and okay, so I guess I'll hire an agent now. I believe that you can list for sale by owners fairly quickly. 60 to 70% of the FSBO appointments that I set on my first conversation with them. Why? Because I got them excited about the fact that by hiring me, I'll be able to more than make up for the commission they're looking to save. And I want to sit down with you and show you how I can do that for you. In bold, in step 3, you've watched Diana's problem presentation. That's the essence of how you show value. Helping them understand that they have problems, and you can offer the solution to those problems. And those problems they have cost them money. And by solving those problems, you make them more money. It's all about value. Okay? So dominate your market. It has the wrong start date here. We're in August. So the next start date for dominate your market it's August. Let me just make sure. I believe it's the 25th.
It's August 25th. Yes.
25th.
August 25th at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Central.
Exactly. Thank you. Paige, right? This is Paige.
Yes.
I recognize your voice, girl. Yeah. All right. So August 25th at 1 p.m. Central Time. Dominate Your Market is a 3-month program. We have 12 one-hour calls, and some of the topics, of course, it's all about FSBOs and expireds. And the topics we cover: handling objections. We spend an entire hour on handling expired objections, expired specific objections. Handling FSBO objections, the problem presentation, all of the little bits of script, dialogue, statistics you can use to master this problem presentation, which is really the presentation I used when I was listing for sale by owners. We have an entire call on closing for the appointment. We have a call on lead follow-up. That is critical. You gotta be really, really great in following up on the leads you generate. Pre-qualifying your appointments, because that is important if you're going to take more listings the first time you go out. So, and then we also have a call, it's the last call of the program actually, which is on developing and maintaining a powerful mindset. Because great agents, they've mastered their mindset. And they're always, you've mastered mindset, meaning you have a mindset that empowers you, and mastering doesn't mean you're done with it, okay? And I don't have to work on it anymore. Mindset is something that you've got to work on every single day, all the time, because the drunk monkey, if you've taken bold, you know what I'm talking about. The drunk monkey quiets down the more you work on your mindset, and yet it hardly ever disappears. So you are going to have some doubt, negative thoughts, and yet great agents are working on their mindset all the time. So the very last call, I'll give you a lot of great ideas on continuing to always maintaining a great mindset. So, Paige, you have the question box. If you have any questions, I'd love to take some time and answer them for you guys. So,
any questions? Please type them into the questions box if you have any questions. First, we have Jonathan. It says, "Hi, I'm Jonathan from New Jersey. Will we also discuss the checklist of the listing presentation in this course?"
No, I don't cover the actual listing presentation in Dominate Your Market. This is a program. The only part of the presentation that we spend an entire hour on is the problem presentation, which is the FSBO presentation. The actual listing presentation, I don't cover.
Okay. We had Neil ask, does Jackie like to preview a home for either expired or FSBO?
Okay. Does Jackie like to preview a home? The answer would be no, Jackie does not. Now, are there certain instances when it is a great idea to go preview a property? Yes. Typically what I actually talk a little bit about this on the call and closing for the appointment. The reason why I am not opposed to previewing properties, the reason why I prefer not to is because it's a mindset conversation. Almost every for sale by owner will say, well, I'm not interested in listing the house. If you want to come look at it, if you come to my open house, if you have a buyer, you're welcome to come look at the property. They will offer for you to come and preview the property. My challenge with that is if you accept that as an option, you're going to buy into, okay, well, I'll go preview the property, which is when you go preview, you're not really going on a listing presentation, although you can turn a preview into a listing presentation, and we talk about that in the program. The challenge is if you accept that I'm just going to go preview properties, then you don't close for the appointment. You don't ask for the appointment. You're in a different mindset than setting a qualified appointment. And it's the same thing with an expired listing, although they don't offer to preview that much. Now, I do encourage you to go knock on their door, because we know, and Diana has always taught me this, that in person you're so much more powerful. So by all means, over the phone conversations are very efficient because you could talk to more people in less time, and yet in person, when you go preview a property and you're face-to-face with that prospect, you're much more powerful. So I'm not totally opposed to it as long as you've given it your best shot at selling a qualified listing appointment. Then I'm okay with you previewing. If you gave it your best shot, you weren't able to set an appointment, then yes.
Okay. Neil also asked, is it better to call FSBOs before the weekend? I guess is there a great time to call,
Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you what I believe the best day of the week to prospect is. And before I tell you, I would say every day is a great day to prospect, because when I was selling real estate, my first and second year in real estate, I was only making lead generation calls nights and weekends, because that's when I could do it. That's when I was available to do it. And then I was working part-time. My third year, I started working full-time, so then I was making calls. I used to start around 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. I made some evening calls on the days I didn't have appointments. I would add that, and some Saturday mornings. Now, Monday, personally, I feel is the best day. You have 3 days worth of expires. You have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you have more expires unless you're prospecting on Saturdays. And for sale by owners on Mondays, they're great, because if they held an open house over the weekend, typically that's when buyers schedule appointments if they got any buyer's calls. and buyers don't show, or they come in and look at the property, and we're still going to start to realize, oh, they have a house to sell, the house is not even listed yet. They start, once they start experiencing what it's like to actually receive calls from buyers, set appointments. On Mondays, they tend to be rather discouraged, more because the weekend didn't go as well as they expected. So Mondays are a great day. And again, having said that, every day is a great day to get on the phone and set appointments. My goal every single day was to set one qualified listing appointment a day, Monday through Friday. That is the only purpose for lead generation, and that should be your main goal. You may have a goal for number of hours you prospect, number of contacts you make when you're lead generation, same thing, and yet the number one purpose and goal is to set a qualified appointment.
Okay, Brian has a question. I constantly get, I've already hired another agent. What's your best response for that to keep them on the phone?
Well, if they've already hired another agent, it's too late. Okay? NAR Code of Ethics says you shouldn't, agents are not supposed to solicit business if they're working with another agent. So if they've already hired another agent, there's only one thing you can do, and it's to say good luck and goodbye, and on to the next one. So what that tells me is, especially with a FSBOR and expired, you didn't call them soon enough if they've already hired somebody else. So you're calling late in the process.
Okay, great. That's all the questions we have. Does anyone have anything else? Please type it into the questions box. We can hang on.
Well, if somebody's typing, just one thing that I didn't mention in case you don't have the PowerPoint in front of you. So Dominate Your Market is 12 one-hour calls, weekly calls. So it's a 3-month program. The total investment for the program is $297. Honestly, it's a gift for the amount of information, the amount of script dialogues, and the value that is offered in this program. Is the cost completely irrelevant. The calls are recorded so you can listen to them as many times as you would like on Basecamp, which is the hub where we upload scripts, and you're able to actually set up role plays and accountability with other participants in the program. The total cost for the 3 months is $297. Anything else, Paige?
Okay, Sandra asked, where do we find past recordings? If you are referring to our weekly webinars, you can go to our YouTube channel, and it's called MAPS Group Coaching, and you will see all of our past webinars that we've featured on this little weekly webinar series. This call recording today will be posted, and you can share it with anyone within Keller Williams. Please feel free to share it. We have a few more questions, Jackie, from Brian. What is the best way to get the phone numbers for the homeowners?
There are different services out there that you can use to get phone numbers. Which one is the best? I'm not going to really be able to speak to that simply because I haven't sold real estate in 10 years. I've been coaching for the last 10 years. So I hear from clients and from agents in bold and agents that I've worked with in the past, oh, this one works great for me, that one. So depending on what part of the country you are, and I'm not sure why that makes a difference, different services will work best. Some of the services available that you can pay a fee and they provide phone numbers for you, Land Voice, ART, RedX, Vulcan 7, are some of the most common ones. Those are the ones that come to mind. You can also, for expired listings, you can go in the MLS, or you can hire a college student for an hour every morning from anywhere if they have access. Get the expires for the day before from the MLS. Go online. There are many, many free websites. Whitepages.com, Spokio, Anywho, 411.com. Free websites. You type in an address, it's a reverse address search, and it'll give you the seller's phone number. So you could do that as well. I don't recommend that as an agent you do that. That's the job of an admin. You should delegate that. You should pay, you know, even if you pay $20 an hour for 1 hour for somebody to do that for you. And it would take an hour if you have a lot of new expireds every day. If you have like 50, 100, which would be amazing, what a gold mine. Otherwise, maybe even in 30 minutes, someone can actually pull them out of the MLS and look up online and find free phone numbers for free.
Okay, we have Mike. He asked, what did your lead generation calendar look like? How many hours did you dedicate daily to lead generation and contacting visitors and expired?
Okay. So I'll give you two answers. Well, actually, there might be three. When I first started, my first 2 years, I lead generated from 5:30 p.m. till about 8:30. Let's call it 3 hours, because that's when I was available. So 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday. That's a total of 15 hours. And Saturdays and Sundays, I would start around 9:30, and I'd stay on the phone until I found somebody who wanted to sell. I didn't have a goal, okay, I'll do it for 3 hours. No. Some Saturdays and Sundays, I would find somebody by 2 p.m., so I'm done. Sometimes I'd stay on the phone till 7 p.m., which was most of the time, actually. So that was my schedule for the first 2 years. My third year, I started working full-time. So I lead generated for 3 hours in the morning, Monday through Friday. Saturday mornings, another hour or two to reach the FSBOs and expires I couldn't get a hold of during the week. And some evenings, if I wasn't out on appointments between Monday and Thursday. Fridays, I didn't do evenings. Monday through Thursday, if I wasn't on a listing appointment around 6 p.m., I'd be on the phone for an hour. And I'd be dialing the numbers for FSBOs again and expires that I couldn't reach in the morning. So, and probably my 5th year in real estate, my lead generation consisted of 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday in the morning from 8 till 10, and that's it. Because by then, I was skilled enough to be able to set an appointment, a qualified appointment every day, Monday through Friday, between 8 and 10, I'd set an appointment. Whether I set it at that time or by following up on leads, which would be additional to that, okay? I did usually follow up. My lead generation is new, people I haven't talked to before. And then my lead follow-up was, really I didn't have a specific time to follow up on my leads. I had a few leads every day, like maybe sometimes one, sometimes 2 or 3, and I would call them as many times as I had to throughout the day until I got a hold of them. And so starting my 5th year, I was lead generating about 10 hours a week. What else, Paige?
So that looks like all of the questions for today. Jackie, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Again, this webinar is recorded and will be emailed out to everyone that joined us today, as well as if you missed the webinar. So again, Jackie, thank you so much, and we're so excited for August 25th.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, everyone, for participating, listening in. If you have any questions, Paige, what would be the email address that they could send questions to?
Just email us at fasttrack@kw.com. Fasttrack@kw.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you, Jackie. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You too.